Marilyn Monroe. The name itself conjures images of shimmering gowns, dazzling smiles, and a captivating screen presence. But Marilyn Monroe was far more than just a movie star. She was a fantasy, carefully constructed and meticulously maintained under the bright lights of Hollywood. A dream spun from platinum blonde hair and a perfectly poised smile, a symbol of desire, an image that graced magazine covers and captivated the hearts of millions. She embodied the idealized woman of the era, a figure both alluring and seemingly unattainable, and an icon of the 1950s, the very essence of the golden age of Hollywood, a time of glamour, excess, and manufactured perfection. But beneath the carefully crafted image, beneath the layers of makeup and the dazzling costumes though, was Norma Jean, a woman of intelligence, a sharp mind constantly seeking knowledge and understanding. She devoured books, attended lectures, and yearned to be taken seriously for her intellect, not just her beauty. Vulnerability, a deep well of sensitivity that she often tried to conceal from the prying eyes of the world. A fragility that made her both captivating and deeply human, and longing for respect and real connection. A yearning to be seen, to be understood, and to be loved for who she truly was, beyond the facade of Marilyn Monroe. The world saw a goddess, an untouchable figure of beauty and allure, a symbol of everything that Hollywood represented. But behind the scenes, she was a tireless student of her craft, constantly working to hone her skills and prove her talent. She dedicated herself to acting, studying with renowned coaches and pushing herself to deliver authentic performances, searching for genuine love. A love that transcended the superficiality of Hollywood. A love that saw beyond the image and embraced the real Norma Jean. Her relationships became public spectacles, fodder for the insatiable appetite of the press and the public. Every romance was dissected, analyzed, and sensationalized. Each romance feeding the public's appetite for gossip, fueling the endless cycle of speculation and scrutiny that defined her life, while obscuring the real woman. The constant media attention created a barrier, making it increasingly difficult for people to see past the manufactured image and connect with the authentic person beneath. The men in her life, heroes, playwrights, politicians, figures of power and influence who were drawn to her magnetic presence, became characters in her ongoing drama. Each relationship played out on a public stage, adding another layer to the complex narrative of her life. The world saw the glamour, the dazzling red carpets, the adoring fans, and the seemingly perfect life, but missed the heartbreak, the pain, the loneliness, and the constant struggle to reconcile the image with the reality. Soaring hopes, dreams of a fulfilling career, a loving family, and a life free from the constraints of her public persona. Crushing disappointments, the setbacks, the betrayals, and the constant feeling of being misunderstood and exploited, and a desperate wish to be seen for who she truly was. A longing to shed the mask of Marilyn Monroe and reveal the authentic, vulnerable, and intelligent woman within. Her story isn't just scandal, the sensational headlines and the whispered rumors that continue to swirl around her name, and fame, the fleeting moments of adoration, and the relentless pressure of the spotlight. It's a lifelong search for a love that could see past the icon, a love that could embrace her flaws and celebrate her strengths. To the complicated human being she was, a woman of depth, intelligence, and vulnerability, who deserved to be seen and loved for who she truly was. This quest would ultimately shape her enduring tragic legacy, a legacy that continues to fascinate and inspire, a reminder of the complexities of fame, the importance of authenticity, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Before Marilyn Monroe, there was Norma Jean, a girl shaped by foster homes, orphanages, and a longing for family. At 16, to avoid returning to an orphanage, she married her neighbor Jim Doherty, a practical solution, not a passionate romance. She tried to fit the role of housewife, but ambition stirred within her. When Doherty went to war, Norma Jean found work in a defense plant where a photographer discovered her. Modeling awakened a new identity, and Hollywood soon beckoned. The marriage ended as she chose stardom over security, leaving Doherty behind and stepping into the legend of Marilyn Monroe. It was her first step toward becoming an icon and away from the simple stability she'd always craved. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio's marriage was a national event, the union of two American icons. DiMaggio, the stoic baseball legend, wanted a private wife, Marilyn, the ultimate star, craved both love and the spotlight. Their passion was real, but so was the conflict. He wanted to protect her. She wanted to be seen and respected. DiMaggio's possessiveness clashed with her ambition, and the public's fascination only intensified their struggles. He couldn't accept her need for fame, she couldn't abandon her identity. Their love story, built on passion and hope, quickly unraveled under the weight of their differences. The fairy tale faded, leaving both with heartbreak and the world with another chapter in Marilyn's legend. Their romance was destined to crumble under the pressure of fame. The breaking point came with an iconic image: Marilyn's white dress billowing over a subway grate for the 7-year itch. For the world, it was Hollywood magic. For DiMaggio, it was humiliation. The event triggered a furious argument, crystallizing their fundamental incompatibility. He wanted privacy. She was at the peak of her fame. Just 274 days after their wedding, Marilyn announced their separation, citing mental cruelty. The image that defined her as an icon also destroyed her marriage. The love she sought and the fame she commanded were powerful, opposing forces. It was a painful lesson. Her public persona would always overshadow her private happiness. Following her highly publicized marriage to Joe DiMaggio, Marilyn embarked on a new chapter in her life, seeking a different kind of connection. Her third marriage, to the acclaimed playwright Arthur Miller, marked a significant turning point, a deliberate move away from the world of sports and towards the realm of intellect and art. It was a decision that surprised many, but one that Marilyn hoped would bring her a deeper sense of fulfillment. This union was a stark departure from her past relationships, a conscious effort to align herself with someone who valued her mind as much as her beauty. Miller, a celebrated intellectual, represented a world far removed from the Hollywood glamour she had always known. The press, ever eager to sensationalize, found the pairing an easy target. They mocked them relentlessly, coining the now infamous phrase, the egghead and the hourglass, a crude reduction of their individual complexities and the nature of their relationship. The media struggled to understand the connection between the blonde bombshell and the serious playwright. But for Marilyn, Miller offered something she desperately craved: intellectual respect. He saw beyond the surface, recognizing her intelligence and her desire to be taken seriously. Their conversations were stimulating, challenging, and validating, a welcome change from the superficiality she often encountered. He offered her validation, not just as a beautiful woman, but as a thinking, feeling human being. This validation was crucial for Marilyn, who constantly battled feelings of inadequacy and a longing to be recognized for her inner self. She admired his sharp mind, his way with words, and his commitment to social justice. She saw him as a beacon of integrity in a world often driven by superficiality and ambition. She stood by him during a period of intense political controversy, when Miller was questioned by the House Un-American Activities Committee during the McCarthyism era. Her unwavering support demonstrated her loyalty and her willingness to stand up for what she believed in, even in the face of public scrutiny. More than anything, Marilyn hoped he'd see the real her, the woman behind the glamorous facade, the intelligent and sensitive soul yearning for genuine connection and acceptance. She longed to be understood and loved for who she truly was, not just for the image she projected to the world. Miller, in turn, was initially drawn to her perceived intelligence and vulnerability, seeing in her a depth that others often overlooked. He believed he could help her unlock her full potential, both as an actress and as a person. And for a time, Marilyn genuinely believed that she could finally be seen as a whole person, that she could escape the confines of her public image and be appreciated for her true self. She felt hopeful that she had found a partner who understood her complexities and valued her for more than just her beauty. Eager to embrace this new chapter, she threw herself into intellectual pursuits. She diligently studied acting, seeking to hone her craft and prove her talent. She also converted to Judaism, Miller's faith, as a symbol of her commitment to their relationship and her desire to build a life together. She tried to embrace a quieter, more domestic life, retreating from the constant glare of the Hollywood spotlight. She envisioned a peaceful existence filled with intellectual stimulation and genuine connection, but the relentless pressures of fame proved difficult to escape. The paparazzi continued to hound her, and the public's insatiable appetite for gossip kept her constantly in the headlines. And Miller's own frustrations, stemming from his creative struggles and the challenges of living with such a public figure, gradually eroded their bond. The initial spark of intellectual connection began to fade, replaced by tension and resentment. The dream began to unravel when Marilyn discovered Miller's private writings, revealing his growing disappointment in her and their relationship. These candid reflections exposed a harsh reality that shattered her illusions of a perfect union. To add to her pain, his screenplay for The Misfits, a film in which she starred, seemed to expose her deepest wounds and insecurities, further blurring the lines between her public persona and her private struggles. The film became a painful reflection of their deteriorating relationship. The intellectual sanctuary she had so desperately sought, the haven she believed she had found with Miller, ultimately became yet another source of profound heartbreak and disillusionment. The very thing she hoped would save her ended up contributing to her downfall. Even in what she considered her most earnest and sincere attempt at building a true partnership, a union based on mutual respect and intellectual connection, Marilyn found herself once again misunderstood, isolated, and ultimately, profoundly alone. The dream of being seen for who she truly was remained elusive, leaving her with a lingering sense of emptiness and despair. Beyond her very public marriages to baseball legend Joe DiMaggio and playwright Arthur Miller, both unions that captivated the world, Marilyn's love life was shrouded in rumor, a constant source of speculation and fascination for the public and the press alike. The whispers followed her everywhere, painting a picture of a woman desired by many, yet perhaps truly known by none. But none were more explosive, more scandalous than her alleged affairs with President John F. Kennedy, a relationship that, if true, blurred the lines between Hollywood glamour and political power. And, adding another layer of complexity and intrigue, his brother Robert, the Attorney General, a man with his own ambitions and secrets. The most famous moment, a single unforgettable performance, her sultry "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" at Madison Square Garden, a breathy, suggestive rendition that sent shockwaves through the nation, fueling endless speculation about the nature of their relationship and solidifying its place in American cultural history.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Mr. President, for all the things you've done, the battles that you've won, the way you deal with U.S. Steel and our problems by the ton. We thank you so much. Everybody, happy birthday!
The press went wild, and the public was captivated. Some say her involvement with JFK was brief, a fleeting encounter, a casual dalliance between two powerful figures. Others claim her connection to Robert was deeper and more dangerous, a passionate affair that entangled her in the complex web of Kennedy family politics. These rumors, whether true or not, placed her at the center of American power, a position of immense influence and visibility, but also left her vulnerable and disposable, a pawn in a game far bigger than herself, exposed to the harsh glare of public scrutiny. As the stories grew, fueled by gossip columnists and whispered conversations, so did her sense of betrayal and isolation, as she realized the extent to which she was being used and manipulated. Whether fact or fiction, a carefully constructed narrative or a genuine account of events, the Kennedy rumors became inseparable from her legend, forever intertwined with her image as a glamorous yet ultimately tragic figure, adding intrigue and tragedy to a life already filled with both, casting a long shadow over her legacy. They painted her as both a heartbroken starlet, a victim of circumstance and unrequited love, and a woman who flew too close to the sun of power, her ambition and desire leading her to a dangerous and ultimately destructive path. In the end, as the clock ticked down on her short and tumultuous life, these affairs, real or imagined, contributed to the tragic narrative of her final months, adding another layer of mystery and speculation to her untimely death. Marilyn's relationships were lived under relentless public scrutiny. Every moment a headline, every heartbreak a spectacle. The constant presence of paparazzi and gossip left no room for privacy or genuine connection. Her partners weren't just marrying a woman, they were marrying a global phenomenon, and few could handle the pressure. The Hollywood studio system controlled her image, discouraging real love in favor of marketable fantasy. Fame became a gilded cage, making true intimacy nearly impossible. The men in her life loved the icon, but struggled with the real Norma Jean. For Marilyn, love was always a performance, and the spotlight was simply too much to bear. Behind the dazzling smile was a woman desperately searching for love and emotional security. Each relationship was an attempt to find sanctuary, with Doherty, a home, with DiMaggio, protection, with Miller, intellectual validation. She fell in love with what each man represented, a cure for her loneliness. But fame and deep-seated insecurities sabotaged her quest. Her fear of abandonment made her cling tightly, often pushing partners away. Heartbreaks deepened her isolation and reliance on prescription drugs. Each failed marriage reinforced her fear of being unlovable. Her search for sanctuary always led her back to loneliness, trapped by the legend she'd created. Marilyn Monroe's turbulent love life is central to her legacy, transforming her from movie star to tragic heroine. Her romances made her relatable but also fueled misunderstandings and stereotypes. She captivated heroes, artists, and presidents, yet was painted as unstable and destined for heartbreak. Her vulnerability and longing for love made her endlessly fascinating. The world saw the goddess but also glimpsed the pain behind the smile. The tragic irony, the most desired woman unable to find lasting love. Her story is a cautionary tale about the price of fame and the conflict between public image and private soul. Marilyn's broken heart, as much as her beauty, ensures she will always be remembered, admired, and misunderstood.